We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. This was a quote from William Casey, CIA director, from a staff meeting in 1988. Thanks for joining me. I'm Brother Mick, and today we're going to discuss some unusual topics, but things that could very well be detrimental to our future. So please join me in this, and if you will, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. That'll help our algorithm. And let's dive in. So, have you heard of Project Bluebeam? This is supposed to be a deception created in the 1970s, in that either a staged return of Christ is happening or an alien invasion. And I don't think we've been able to get quite clear on which one, but it was going to be some kind of major thing. And the thing is that I think we're all aware that there are some pretty amazing light shows that they could put on using drone and holograms. Also, consider that the general public is probably 50 years behind the military in the capabilities that we know about. Um, so, a few decades ago, there were claims made that all the governments of the world were looking to run such a scheme as the Project Bluebeam in order to bring in a one world government and or one world religion. And they thought that this could kind of unify us in that way. And it wasn't possible to do such a thing back then. But I'll bet it can be done now. You think about AI and deepfake, and my wife played a video of Donald Trump speaking from the Oval Office one night. And out of the blue, he started saying some really crazy things. Well, I mean, crazier than some of you claim he says anyway. But but I looked at her, and then I just kind of slowly said, "This isn't real, is it?" And she laughed and said it was an AI deepfake that someone had made. That's really scary. What if what was being said wasn't so unbelievable, but was rather just subtle, kind of on the line there. Then the next thing would be just a little more subtle, and just an inch at a time. Um, that's some scary stuff. But okay, did you ever hear the story of War of the Worlds? And this is an event that took place in 1938. So, for those who haven't heard the story, this was explained as a huge misunderstanding. So, one night, Orson Welles was reading War of the Worlds on the radio, and this was a book by H.G. Wells, I believe. And so this was a time before TV. For those of you who don't know, and when people would sit around and listen to the radio, like families, like after dinner or whatnot, and it wasn't just for music, but also other programming. Well, War of the Worlds was about an alien invasion, as you probably know. It's an older book, and there have now been movies and whatnot made from it. So legend has it that many people tuned in and heard this reading and thought that the Earth was really under attack by aliens. So the story goes that people were running around, panicking and carrying on, but I'm not quite sure how the misunderstanding could have taken place. Did you start from the part where Earth was being invaded and tell the story from the POV of a news reporter, or what? But well, some think that this reading of War of the Worlds might have been an attempt to Project Bluebeam our great grandparents, or either a test to see if such a thing would be possible. Because yeah, like many, I think that they've been kind of running psychological tests on us this whole time. You know, I mean, it's not the same people because people die. So um, obviously obviously I believe in entities, but so here's another thing that goes along with this. So have you heard of Jeremy Corbell? He said recently that they want us to believe, they, again, the mysterious they, want us to believe that an alien craft is on its way toward us. And but when I said recently, okay, I'll tell you, that sounds crazy, right? That an alien craft is on its way toward us. Well, people are saying that now. So we're being told that there's an object called 3I Atlas that's heading our way. Everyone's talking about it. While NASA's, as far as I saw, NASA's official stance is that it's a comet. We also have scientists saying that this comet is an alien craft. Judging by the way it's moving, the claims are that it's traveling way too fast to be a comet, and that something moving this fast would need to have actual propulsion. Now, bear with me. I'm not a rocket scientist, okay, but the thing's going 152,000 miles an hour, and this is the fastest moving object that we've ever tracked. Also, they're saying that its trajectory is unnatural. Like it appears to be hanging turns off of the other planets in order to use their gravitational pull for what is referred to as the slingshot maneuver. So this is supposed to make it to us in November. So that's the time we'll know, I guess. But evidently, people in the science community are freaking out over it. Avi Loeb is an astrophysicist at Harvard who thinks this is an alien ship and has voiced grave concerns about it being hostile. Nick Pope, an investigator for the UK's Ministry of Defence, has voiced concerns. Michio Kaku, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's a renowned theoretical physicist, though, and is captivated by this thing as well. And he says it could be a godlike visitor, messenger from beyond, and that our understanding of the cosmos has changed regardless due to its arrival. So that's not concerning at all. And it's being rumored that Elon Musk claimed that this is an alien craft as well, but those rumors are now being refuted, so make what you will of that. I don't think that came off of any official publication. Like I think that's just more Facebook chatter. So okay, more on this Jeremy Corbell. He predicted this thing, right? So he's a ufologist. I know. Anyway, he was on a documentary back in 2019 when he commented that they want us to believe that there is an alien craft slowly making its way toward us. He originally projected that it would be in 2027, but also acknowledged that they might pivot the date a little bit if they think that anyone, is onto their plan. And 3I Atlas was first announced on July 1st, 2025. So just 2.5 months ago. Now that's pretty suspicious, I've got to say so myself. He predicted this thing back in 2019. He said, yeah, they're going to tell us that there is this alien craft slowly making its way toward us. And then here, just a couple of months ago, we get all this uproar about this thing, we don't know if it's a comet or a craft or whatever, but well, I know it's not a craft, not really. But anyway, Jeremy also claimed the documentations for this plan were written in the 70s, around the time of Bluebeam, which was being discussed then. So whatever is about to happen has been in the works for longer than I've been alive. I'd say much longer. It's part of Satan's plan, which it likely is. So let's slow down a moment. We have people prophesying the rapture very soon. Some say September, and we're living in September right now. And I must admit that I've been giving that group a very hard time, in social media lately. However, if anything, I'd say that living 50 years on this planet has taught me is that we're all going to be wrong about things. So for giggles, let's just say that this rapture occurs in late September or October. This comet spacecraft is supposed to be right behind it. And a few theologians, including my brilliant wife, believe that once the rapture takes place, the authorities will claim it was a mass alien abduction. They may even go on to say that aliens took all of the troublemakers away to re educate them. Look, maybe it wouldn't surprise me at all. The only thing I know for sure is Christ and that he was crucified and resurrected to save me. That's all I know. Everything else is just ideas we entertain. It's good to see deceptions and great deceptions coming before they get here. Maybe we do get raptured. It gets blamed on aliens, but somehow someone manages to find this video and it gets their gears turning, you know? So what are aliens? So myself and others in the faith believe that UFOs and aliens. We do believe in UFOs and aliens, but we believe that they're demons and or some other spiritual entity. I think they change with the times, with whatever humans think of when they imagine extraterrestrial life. For example, here's another old story from American history. Alien airships. So around 1896 through 97, these airships started appearing. In some cases, the crafts landed, revealing the pilots to either be tall, lanky aliens or a guy named Wilson. True story. So all of the newspapers were reporting on these things, and they were seen in 41 states and even parts of Canada. The fascinating thing about this was while there were airships in existence, it's not like this was totally a thing we hadn't seen anything like, but they moved around effortlessly against the wind, and they were all lit up as well. And I don't think airships had at that time, at least not enough that um, it would have gotten people's attention. Talking about the lighting, I don't think that they were lit up like that. They had a rather powerful light beam that projected from them that really alarmed the populace. I mean, I don't think that that particular kind of lighting was around yet. So during this time, less was known about science and cosmology and even what it takes to get to space. So there were science fictions about people riding blimps or hot air balloons to the moon. So also, have you ever seen drawings of aliens described from different parts of the Earth? So this kind of goes along with what I was saying about the airships. Like this entity seems to be shape shifting. So if you've ever seen drawings of aliens described from different parts of the Earth, they all look different, and some appear as the alien greys that we see on science fiction shows, and some are hairy creatures, some are reptilian. Does that suggest that we have alien visitors from multiple different planets? I don't think it does. I think it's a product of spirits that can take on the appearance of different things, trying to fool people into whatever the culture already assumes extraterrestrials may look like. And that's why they're all different. So there's also something to be said about abducting patterns. So there's abducting patterns that have kind of merged. You always hear of people being kidnapped by alien crafts. So most people abducted, as it's turning out, also tend to dabble in the occult. And I don't believe that any abductees have turned out to be Bible carrying Christians. And that's one thing we understand. That's one thing we understand. If you leave a door open like that, you're inviting evil spirits. So like dabbling things that you shouldn't dabble with. Also, there have been reports of sexual assault, which many of us believe Genesis 6 points to some level of sexual compatibility between flesh and spirit beings, not to mention the first Enoch accounts go into more detail, that is, if you hold first Enoch to be trustworthy at all. We also see that there have been people, when approached by extraterrestrial entities that have called out to Jesus, and the entities left. So yeah, these, like I said, they, like, I don't think they come to Christians, but you know, these are people, kind of like we were talking about last week, who things just got too dark, and that was just the first thing they could think to do, even though they weren't really believers. They called out to Christ for the first time. So keep his name in your mouth. Especially if you see something like this, you know. So I'm dropping this video here in mid-September 2025. Are the concerns listed here accurate? If they are, I guess I'll never know, and I hope that this can be of help to those who are still here. But remember, brothers and sisters, 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God had not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Remember to put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ. Keep his focus on your life, and everything will wind up the way it's supposed to be. He has a plan for your life, and that's not to be taken away by aliens. God bless you all. Thanks for joining.